You see, something is going to happen. Something wonderful.
My God, it's full of stars.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the NY Patriot Show. Thank you very much for tuning in, hitting that play button. Thank you all who are already been in the live for the last 25 minutes, busted my balls about when I'm going to start. Thank you all. That's what's up. Today we got again, which I think I might have mentioned last week that Jonah was probably going to come back. We got Jonah back on again today, kind of doing a continuation from last week. If you didn't catch last week, I do suggest to go back and probably listen to that first. I mean, maybe you won't have to, but I would just suggest to do it anyway. So this maybe makes more sense. And my honest opinion, I really like Janice anyway, and it's like I said, it's a topic I wanted to cover, so I'm just into that topic anyway. I'm into that that episode he did last week. Check it out. It's totally shit that I was like, damn, like I had to listen to it twice because it was actually a decent amount of stuff in there. My co-host was taking notes and everything, so go check that out if you haven't. And today, I guess, I mean, I know we're going to be talking about Janice and still, and maybe the Vatican. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but Jonah, all right. After that, I don't know exactly where we're going. Jonah's got the wheel in this. He's just taking us wherever he's going, and I'm just giving him the time to do it. So, Jonah, maybe if you want to let everybody know, if you have anything you want to plug, you want to let everybody know who you are, but and what the topic the topic's going to be as well.
Later.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, it's the same one. It's continuation. So
okay.
And Lee and I kicked this off first. On New Year's Eve, I blew his mind on that, right, Lee?
You fucking did, mate. Yeah.
That's why I had to bring the general on for this one too. So
I know what the fuck is going on with my god. Hey, okay, everyone, this is why we're late. God damn it, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with my computer today. I think I'm getting too deep on some of these topics.
Well, there's definitely a big delay.
I'm also going to turn off my camera here.
Yeah, there is a delay.
I'm going to turn off my camera, see if that picks up. Man, I'm plugged in Ethernet too. Well, I'm directly plugged in. I'm not Wi-Fi-ing it.
You look better now.
I know. So yeah, no, I know. New Year's Eve, Lee and I were scheduled for something, and I just came on. I started rambling about how Pope Benedict was a blood sacrifice to Janice, and he's like, as I got about 2 sentences in, and Lee's like, "Yo, stop! I'm hitting record." He's like, "I know you're going off." He's like, I know you. I know you're about to go off. This is worth recording. So yeah, and then once we did that, I know we spoke with you. And then you said you wanted to do Janice, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I can do Janice, the bad kid. Now, like I was saying to you, I had more presentation ready than my system. Then some of my literally some of my slides just disappeared. I don't know. Maybe it's me that didn't take care of it. Who knows? I'll blame myself. I have the worst karma ever. But hey, let's go ahead. I'm gonna jump into this. There's gonna be some Janice in today, but again, it's a lot more. It's a lot more the Vatican right now.
Forget about it then. I don't want to do this.
No, there's enough Janice in there. You seen some of the Instagram I sent you that you're like, whoa, what the fuck? So you got to put it all together, right? And I was saying to you, man, just because the two whatever ideas, right? The Vatican and Janice, and Janice is literally the answer of everything. So it could be 3, it could be 12, it could be 18 episodes.
Yes. Oh, I mean, I've probably watched myself fucking on what the Flock TV or whatever. I've probably watched 5 hours just in their fucking Janice videos.
Yeah,
because they have multiple ones. There's 3 or 4. I don't know. There might be more than that, but
there's 20. Because
some of them are 2 hours, an hour and a half.
And he's man. I think I'm the one who introduced you to him, but it's that guy.
I think you did actually. No, you did, and I looked at it a while ago because I think you showed it to me for something else. And then I came across the Janus stuff they did, and then like a week or two later, you started sending me the same shit, and I was like, oh wow.
And it's funny because when you first start watching them, you're like, "Yo, this guy just says punch Janice and everything." We're like, "What the fuck's wrong with him?"
That's what I started thinking at first too, and unfortunately, I was like, "I'm gonna just watch and see where this goes." And I'm like, "Yo, this dude's fucking making solid fucking points here."
Yeah,
I was like, "God damn it!"
I did not believe him until I started actually doing the research myself. I'm like, "Fuck." God damn it, I'm wrong.
And then I started realizing, like, you know, if you really think about what's even just being shown in the symbolism of Janus, sometimes just that idea that's trying to be shown doesn't have to always look the same. It's just that idea has to be shown again, something else. And I think we see that a lot. And I never really paid attention or just associated the two.
Well, the Screen Actors Guild is the two side-by-side faces. So everything out of Hollywood is Janus right away. Then you have, like... Man, I can count, 12, 15 celebrities who've all allegedly hung themselves from a red sash. Again, too, we're going into Mithra. I was going to get into that this week, but that's coming up next week. So, this is also Mithra. But, you know, you gotta lay the groundwork. So, let's go ahead. If you want to share my screen.
Yes, let me pull it up now. Black.
There
was something up prior. It was like a nice little
let me see here.
You had going on there. Looked like a
there we go. Yep. So I skipped the main page. So let's go back here again too. I have the same. What the fuck is going on? I'm telling you, man. So there we go. Opening page. Again, we're going with two-face deception. You know, so Janus has two-face. And then wolves in sheep's clothing, and I closed that up, and I think this is probably the one that, like, you know, Teresa was like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of, you know." So I said the wolf, right? The wolf is Romulus.
I really like that one because he has the staff in his hand, and he has the keys as well.
Yeah. So then you have the wolf, which is Romulus, right? And then Jesus is the shepherd, the sheep. You know, so. And then if we go here, the primacy of Peter, right? So I was saying Peter's everything of Rome is Peter. Now Peter would be the sheep of Jesus, right? So Jesus is shepherd, and Peter is like his, you know, his lead sheep or whatever, shepherd. You know what I mean? Trying to say. So then you have this here. Yeah, Janus here. He's got the rod, so the keys in both of their right hands. You know, one's raised, one's lowered. But hey, then we go on. Remember the Arch of Janus, right?
Yeah.
The Arch of Janus.
Yeah. So Lee, you weren't here last week, but the Arch of Janus, Janus is the god of arches. So then you also have archons. Everything under like archetype.
Oh, you know what I wanted to bring up real quick? I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's just I did want to ask you about this. I can't remember last time on the last show when you mentioned the arch. Did you mention that there's 4 entrances too as well to it? It's like a square. Yeah, there's 4 entrances to it.
And we can see that on the photo, right?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you mentioned that before. And to me, like again, I've always said I think Janus on a lower arc is Chesed, and that would be the 4th sphere. And besides, like this is also isn't a cube, so again, that's kind of like very Janus-esque as well, the cube shape.
Cube would also be a cross, right?
Yeah,
it's a cross. Actually, when you like cut it up or whatever, that's what it is. It's an opening of a cube.
I've seen pictures of him when he's like sitting on a throne, and what the bottom looks like is more of a cube.
Yeah,
really, actually.
And then, so most definitely, like, again, this goes back to everything. So, again, arch too, right? You know, archon, archangels.
Yes.
So the arches themselves, you know, entrances, beginnings and endings, you know. So, like, an arch is the entrance to any building. You have the arch. So you have all the, like, there's so many ties to arc that way, or arch. So he's god of arches. Again,
I think it's, did you think of arc welding? And then we have archangels, and the word angels isn't too off of angles. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's
Now, if you look here too, I brought this up here. So if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you have what is called the Arch of the Bells. And what did you know? Who's that statue right in front of us that we just seen? Is that my?
No, that was me. That was me.
Okay. Oh my God.
I was actually trying to email Eric something.
No, that's fine. Like, man, I'm telling you, like, well, I was complaining to both of you about my computer, right? Like,
yeah, no, that was actually me.
Yeah.
That was me. You're good.
Well, when it gets to the last couple of things, I'm just gonna pull them up on my desktop because I'm like, man, fuck this shit. It keeps like, it literally, like, these slides keep missing. Like, no, maybe it's me and I'm just too retarded to use a computer.
No, you're good. That was.
No. I'm saying, like, maybe I'm too retarded to use a computer, or maybe something's like making them disappear. You know what I mean? You know, as I'm accessing certain websites and they're like, hey, why is this person like looking up this thing and this thing together, right?
It could be possible. Like I told you before, when I was even covering stuff on Quetzalcoatl, there was just like weird sites that I was going to that I was even just like uncomfortable going on. I was like, I'm sure an IP might be getting tracked on some of these sites. It was just very weird.
Well, it's not that. I mean, I'm complaining about like literally like things that I did like an hour's worth of work and then it just like
that sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Like, I had an hour's worth of work. I had all the slides in, like, so I had all the pictures up, all the words. So the words were still there, but all the pictures just turned to like that stupid little fucking error icon. So I had to go back in, like, I still had all them in the folder, so it took like 15 minutes to put them back in, but whatever. I was like, what the fuck? And I did it a second time. I'm like, God damn it. And then the third time when we were talking and I'm getting ready to come on, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just pulling up the last few pictures. So, like, I just read on my desktop and then fuck that shit. And then I cut some stuff out just because all the issues I'm having. Again, too, Janice, and then Friday the 13th, right? Friday the 13th, Templars, you know, they were all ordered arrested, and that's why they allegedly Friday the 13th is a bad day. And then, you know, Templars tied to Freemasonry, so. But again, too, going back here, so if you look at the left here, this is called the Arch of the Bells. Mm-hmm. And this is actually right in St. Peter's Square and you can see from the inside, it's literally right at the back of St. Peter. So St. Peter is the keys, Janus is the keys. St. Peter is right on the arch in the St. Peter's Square. So again, all these ties right between Peter and Janus.
They got the keys right there.
Yeah. Then we have so this is the front of the arch of the bells, and then you have the papal keys up top there. Allegedly, the papal keys.
Yo, you know what I think sometimes? It doesn't have to be like random and weird, but you know, especially up there, like I think a lot of X's sometimes are actually referring to stuff like crossing inside your brain or your body. Like your
skull
eyes.
Crossbones too, and
yeah, like I mean, your eyes, your right eye goes to your left brain, and your left eye goes to your right brain. There is a crossing of those nerves. You know, just a lot of stuff. Sometimes I think that X up at the top, believe it or not, is going on somewhere inside your head.
Oh, you're gonna have some fun today, then. You see some of the stuff. Yeah, you see some, you know, some advanced knowledge of what I'm coming with.
Okay, awesome.
But hey, let's go ahead here. What's right under those keys? I actually have this tattooed on my body because I'm part frog, you know. Fleur de lis.
What is that?
Fleur de lis.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
The New Orleans thing, the Saints.
Oh, okay.
The Fleur de lis, the lily flower.
I'd have to look it up. I'm sure I've seen
it. It's okay. I'll give you the spelling. It's Fleur.
Oh, it comes up right away.
Fleur de lis.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh,
so
you see that all over the place. That's like a normal, like...
Yeah.
I was taking pictures of stuff in the city when I was in the city a few weeks ago, and, like, I was noticing that a lot in things. And I really do sometimes think that might be, like, the supernal triad, or it's showing the two eyes and the third, your pineal gland.
I think it might also be the House of Bourbon, you know, the French, the old... Yeah. Now, you also have me right under there, right? With well, okay, yes, Jonah means dove in Yiddish, so that's why I say me.
Okay.
So again, too, so this is just something up here that's on top, you know, the papal keys, and that's what I want everyone taking a look at. We're gonna come back to that shit.
Oh, we got
Again,
Sitchin
too.
Forks saying that that's French royalty or French and Italian.
That's what I think. The Fleur de Lis, the bourbon house bourbon.
Thank you, Sitchin Forks. So Stein Forks, like fucking up his name.
I actually have that tattooed on my leg, but hey, on top of the road, what the fuck? Actually, you know what? Go, holy fuck me! I can pull that up at the end of here. I actually have a Fleur de Lis on top of a Roman because I was actually I was covering up the word skinhead on my leg, but man, now that I'm actually looking at this,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
dude, I gotta pull that up at the end of this one here. Remind me if I don't remember myself.
Yeah.
Do you know, I actually thought you said you had a Stein Fox tattooed on your leg.
He's got his
That
face.
would have been
He's got his.
fucked up, that, Jonah.
He's got his face on his calf.
No. I have it's actually so I had the word skinhead on my leg, right? It's calf, ankle to knee.
Yeah.
So then when I covered it up, I put I wanted to put the Fleur de Lis because I'm part frog, you know. I have French Canadian. I have ribbit in me going back to like 1600s here in Canada.
You're trying to make that tattoo more gay than it was already.
So then I was like, so I put the Fleur de Lis there, and I had to like cover the whole word, right? So I'm like, fuck it, throw it on top of like column, and then my tattoo artist is like, okay, cool. Why don't we go with the Roman, right? Because those are like the most common ones, right? Yeah, and then now that I'm doing this, I'm like, fuck me. I'm going to actually have to tag it. Hey, Clay, what's up, guy? You know, I'm going to tag him in this shit. Anyway, so St. Peter's Basilica. Now, if we look at this here, it says the old St. So this is the one that's there today is actually the second St. Peter's. So the first one was actually constructed in the 4th century, and it stood till the 16th century. Guess who actually, no, since you were here last time, guess who actually ordered that construction there? NY?
Who?
Constantine.
Oh, there's probably something I may have.
you know, again, we're going back to Constantine, the guy who actually, the emperor, who was actually converted to Christianity. But as far as I say, no, he converted Christianity to Constantine. But hey, that's me. Again, I'm going through this, so it's going to be several weeks, so we'll show you. I
feel like I mentioned him in the 17th show that I've put up before.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I think I have.
And if anyone doubts, like, or wants to say that I'm like this dirty fucking Protestant or whatever, because I also have Irish in me. Fuck those Protestants too, right? Even though I hate the Catholics, but fuck the Protestants too, because like I have that Irish in me. And again, too, I showed you all the occult symbolism and all those murals too. Goddamn.
Yo, Stein is saying that the Fleur de Lis is still a very popular motif to use here in Europe. From clothing to wallpaper to curtain rails, etc.
Oh, no, you don't even go to Quebec. It's on literally. If you pull up the Quebec flag, it's like it's a blue and white St. George's cross, and then it's got 4 of the Fleur de Lis on it. So that's the Quebec flag, right? And they also celebrate St. John Baptiste Day instead of Canada Day. St. John Baptiste Day is actually on the summer equinox or summer solstice. And then St. John the Evangelist is on winter solstice, so they actually have Janus duality there, right? But hey, that's just that, right?
Yeah, blue or white or blue and gold. Oh, we got that blue and gold going again.
And who actually has St. John the Evangelist and St. John the Baptiste as their icons? Can you think of an organization?
No.
Freemasonry.
Oh yeah.
And then they're also, like I say, they're on the summer solstice. So I think they're 3 days off. So they're on the summer solstice on the rising, 3 days off, and then they're on that's St. John Baptiste, which is the 25th of June. St. John the Evangelist is the 27th because the winter solstice, the sun stays still for 3 days. So 3 days after that is St. John the Evangelist. So you have the 2 Freemason St. John's 3 days after the sun starts to rise on the Tropic of Capricorn and Cancer. Again, Janus tying in, right? So literally, man, when I started watching What the Flock, I'm like, man, this guy's just finding Janus everywhere. He's stretching.
No, I had thought that too, and I ended up giving him a shot and like kind of watching enough of it, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then I ended up binging a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking shit is insane.
Yeah. So yeah, it stayed there, and the reason they selected the site right here, if we go on this one. So again, you see here, Old St. Peter's was commissioned and built to reign under Constantine the First, or Constantine the Great. Constantine led the empire towards creation of a Christian state. I don't believe this at all. Again, too, I say he was, he converted the church to him instead of the other way around, And then, so he decided to build on the grave of St. Peter, what it says. But then, if you look down here.
Oh, I was just watching something about that recently where they're talking about something was buried on top of, I think, his grave. Right? Isn't the...
Fuck that. I don't believe that. But we're getting into that here.
They were saying they found bones and shit, too.
Fuck that. I don't believe that. But I'm getting into this here. So if you look below here, where it's actually built, now you'll see it actually says obelisk there too, right? Mm-hmm. So Caligula actually brought the obelisk over in like 37 before Christ or AD, I forget which one. And then it was in the Circus of Nero. So that's actually the obelisk that still stands at St. Peter's Square today. So Circus of Nero is where they built it over top, and then on this map here, the tomb of St. Peter is allegedly right here, right? So then what is the Circus of Nero? Do either of you know?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Circus of Nero.
I'm assuming it includes fire, maybe.
No. Circus of Nero. Here we go. Again, here we go. It says Caligula was a circus in ancient Rome. Now, if we go down here to the highlight section, it's 65 AD. The first public persecution of Christians happened in Circus, and Christian tradition says that St. Peter lost his life there 2 years later. So you're telling me they persecuted and they actually crucified this motherfucker and then buried him right next? I don't think so. Doesn't sound right to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If
this is holy ground where you're crucifying people, do you bury the crucified right next to it?
No, I get what you're saying for sure.
To me, that's like when I read that, I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Fuck off. Again, this is more about to me, this is more simple, more of how Rome. Again, too, is pretty much responsible for all of Western civilization, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever they decided to write is whatever it is, right? Are you fucking kidding me? God,
so going back, I think you mentioned like they killed like a bunch of Christians in there.
Yeah, they persecuted them.
Damn.
So they decided to build the basilica or cathedral or whatever you want to call it. Basilica is the Italian word, right? So they decided to build the holiest basilica right on top of where they were persecuting Christians, like for the martyrdom.
Now were they being murdered just because of their beliefs? I assume, like that's what it was.
Yeah, persecution of Christians. So that would be like all Catholics, Christians, Greeks, whatever, right? So yeah, that's interesting enough. Now people are going to actually get to see on the next slide because I have a preview. They're going to get to see why I'm fucking pissed off right now with all this. But anyways, so this was actually there when I started speaking to you guys today. But hey, let's skip over that. I can get in there. So the new one here, right? It took 120 years to build. Now we also see here it was inspired by the Roman Pantheon. So the Roman Pantheon is an old pagan worship center, right? Mm-hmm. And then converted to Christianity, whatnot. So again, too. Now, it says here also creating the magnificent structure that exists today He was responsible for many aspects of the church, including the iconic dome, right? So this is Michelangelo was responsible for St. Peter's. So, and then now I don't know if this popped up. I don't know if
that's the thing. That's the thing. I want to mention right now, in case for people that are listening live now, and I'm going to put this out today too. After the show is over, I did mean to mention at the beginning. We're starting season 3 today at the Twin Peaks watch party in the Element server. So check that out if you're interested. Season 3 is wild. I mean, I'll be honest, it doesn't resemble much of Peaks anymore, but I definitely think it's probably one of the craziest seasons. Much more occult, I think, kind of in your face. So I just wanted to promote that, and the reason that made me think of it too is that if anybody tonight or that's listening that ends up joining us tonight, and you happen to be watching it, at the end of every episode or almost every episode, they always end with like a band playing live inside that bar. Every time the guy goes up on the mic to introduce the band, there's a pine cone sticking at the end of the microphone. So people can pay attention and maybe see that later on if you're watching with us.
Yeah. And so there's another slide picture that's supposed to be here, and the next page is going to be blank too. Like, this is what I've been dealing with for like the last 24 hours. Like, man, I don't know. So all the stuff before, right, was all nice and good. Now I'm getting here, and it just like keeps disappearing on me, right? So then we go into the Pinecone Courtyard, which is in the Vatican. Again, too, that's kind of weird, the Pinecone issue with the Vatican. Now, we actually go ahead and, obviously Pinecone, all the cult symbolism with the Pinecone, right? Obviously. Now, there's this statue of a Pinecone there in the courtyard, which is why it's called the Pinecone Courtyard. Now let's go ahead and actually, I'm just going to pull that picture up here separately and throw it over top.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll get this done, right? Honestly, like everyone who's watching this, like you can see what's happening, right? Like this shit's just disappearing on me, right? So here, let's do this here. Okay, here, we'll do this. This is pissing me off because like whatever, but hey, I'll work around it. I don't care.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I'm actually loading this Pinecone picture. I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, what the? So
there
we
go. There we go.
Just a tiny little Pinecone, right?
Tiny?
Now, what's right above the Pinecone? What's right above the Pinecone, too?
Well, one, it looks like an arch, and to me, is that like a seashell or something up there? Or it almost looks like that symbol again that you were talking about, too, in a sense.
Yeah. So, again, too, Pinecone, right? Just a tiny little thing. Yeah, the peacock on each side.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if the peacock is supposed to be like the orphanum. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you start getting up high on the tree, you come into those archangels, Jonah, the orphanum or the water of angels, or whatever, and they're like high up on the tree, and they are supposed to be represented with like all these eyes, and peacock's tails do look like they have eyes on them.
It's literally like I have like on this one here. It says inside the Vatican magazine pilgrimage. So this is actually where I actually took the information from. So everything that I bring is actually cited, right?
Yeah, but then
now this one here
showing the images. That sucks.
No. I'll pull those next.
Okay.
I don't care. I'm gonna get this done. I don't care, right? You know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
So, man, you think I gotta back down from like whatever is happening here?
Oh well, as long as you have them in there and you can find them, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I have them all.
Oh, okay.
So again here, in the again too. So is the Vatican actually like Catholic or is it Rome? The empire just carried on. So this here it says when Raphael and Michelangelo were working for the Pope, among them was the gigantic face of Augustus statue. So they have a massive head of Augustus. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. Why is this giant head of Caesar Augustus being displayed in the Vatican Museum today? Because under Augustus, the Roman Empire had their Pax Augustus, or Golden Era. This was the era, again, Golden Era was Janus, which is kind of funny. because that was Janus and Saturn together. So this was the era the first Christmas happened and Christianity spread. The Pax Augustus allowed people to think about the afterlife. It also meant that it was safe to travel throughout the empire. Now, I also showed you yesterday, and you can verify this here, which I found funny because I've never seen it before or never put it together before. Pontifex Maximus, which is the name of the Pope, or the office of the Pope, was the name of the Roman Empire at the time Jesus was killed. So the name of the Pope, the name of the Pope's office was the name of the empire at the time Jesus was killed. So that seems kind of odd to me too, right? Yeah. They use the same title for the office. Now I'm just actually pulling up the picture of these heads so you can actually see, like, kind of, everyone can see, just a tiny little.
Yeah, this is one. Yeah, you sent me this yesterday.
Caesar Augustus.
Yeah.
And then for full.
That's big.
Does this seem like Christian to you, or does it seem like all up on the cock of Rome, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, to me, it's like I'd be thinking that's like some pagan statue, honestly.
Yeah, well, pagan, Janus, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so fuck this shit. Here we go. Pantheon. So we go back to God damn, this is like everyone can see why I was late and why I'm cursing here. Like I don't even know what's going on here with my system, but hey, whatever. It's either my system or someone's coming after me, right? So the Pantheon. Again, here I got my source underneath there. Anyone who wants to check, you can. It's inconvenient, and you can type it up, or I could actually send it to you when you later, and then you can include everything into the links if you wanted. So, present-day Pantheon is located at the site of the earlier structure, the same name. Well, again, it was built by son-in-law of the first emperor Augustus. Traditionally thought to have been designed as a temple for Roman gods. The structure's name is derived from Greek words pan, meaning all, and theos, meaning gods. Now, God of gods is, going back to last week, do you recall?
Janus, right?
Yep, God of gods.
Yeah, I think, did I mention that, maybe I didn't then, but I was thinking of it now, because you did even mention, I guess, Pan, in a sense.
Yeah, well, he's also Pan tied to him, too, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I could be wrong, but I think at times with Crowley, especially with some of his rituals, when you're calling on Pan, I think you might be calling on, like, the one, the beginning and the end, I guess, like the god up there and the god here, like you're calling, like, kind of, but it's the same one. It's hard to explain, but I've seen some people say, and that might have been what he was getting at, and that's what I think he thought at the time, but whatever. But I thought of that, and real quick, it says it was constructed around 25 BC by statesman Marcus Agrippa. Son-in-law or whatever of the first Roman Emperor Augustus. I don't know if it's like if there's a connection or anything, but I did notice like the last name, and there's Agrippa, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa. He has he has a book. I think it's a 3-part book. Some say there's 4. Some say the 4th part isn't real. I have a copy of it. It's like 3 books in one, or you can get 3 separate books. And this shit is from like back in like the 1500s. Like it's like ridiculously long and has all the squares in there, has planetary shit, it has a fuck ton of herbs and crystals. Like it's one of like the older books. It's like some people kind of consider it like one of the Bibles of like, ceremonial magic. But it's like old as shit, and the guy's last name is Agrippa as well.
You know what else comes to my mind when they do Agrippa?
And it's German.
But the second, did you actually take the chance to read the second that's cut into there?
Yeah, and so in 330.
And who?
The capital of the Roman Empire was transferred from Rome to Byzantine, modern-day Istanbul, Turkey, by Emperor Constantine.
Yeah. And
330
now here's a
pieces.
fun fact too, right? Hagia Sophia. That's a church built by Constantine. Again, Hagia Sophia, right? Is Sophia ever in the church? But Hagia Sophia now, of course, too. Like now, Turkey is all Islam, so it's had minarets or whatever added along the way. But Hagia Sophia is actually a church that was built by Constantine. So just so people know that, and that's actually easily verified. Now, here's the Pantheon. What do we see in front of it?
Big phallic thing.
Yeah. The dick of Janus.
That's the key.
It's the dick of Janus. So some people say Osiris again too. I said that in the previous one, but more than I go down this one, I'm like, fuck, man, goddamn, this cocksucker's ever. Now, what's on the front there? Papal keys.
Yeah, you can see him.
Yeah. Now, I don't know when that was placed there and who put them on there, but if this was built before it was Christian, and this is like, who's say that fountain wasn't there before Christianity, right?
Yo, that building even had Agrippa written on it.
Yeah, because he was
Wow.
Now, I found something really interesting in this here. So this is like the dome, right? Measuring 142 feet in diameter. And it goes 27 feet high. Now that 27 wouldn't be 9 if you do the reduction. But then it says the walls and floors of the rotunda are decorated with marble and gilt, and the dome ceiling contains 5 rings of 28 rectangular coffers. So 5 times 28 is 140. So I don't know if there's some significance there. But to me, it seems interesting that the diameter also lines up with the total number. And then you look down here, the bottom paragraph. Thomas Jefferson modeled both Monticello, his home near Virginia, as well as the Rotunda building at the University of Virginia after Pantheon. U.S. Capitol Rotunda was inspired by the Pantheon, as were various other state capitals. Now, what does the dome look like? This is going to be fun. Fucker cock. Let me move. There we go. Guess what? Pine cones again. Or am I the only one seeing that?
Okay, yeah. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's a pine cone, but it's like as if you're inside of it.
Yep.
That's a really good way to. Damn, I didn't think of it.
No.
Am I looking at it wrong? Wait, no. Okay, I'm looking at it right.
No,
the bottom one. I was like, wait, is that the top of a dome? And I'm looking at it wrong.
No, you're on the inside.
Yeah.
Now, also. Go back to with the UN symbolic studies, whatever, and cancer being removed from the top of the arch.
Yes, there is something. Yeah, there's something.
No, there's just a hole there.
Yeah.
So that's interesting enough.
That almost looks like an eyeball. I'll tell you the truth.
Is that sun worship? Oh, you're ahead of me then. Is that sun worship though? You know what I mean?
I would take that over probably, yeah, because if there's a hole, you're letting the light in. I would assume.
Since you said it looks like an eyeball.
It does look like the sun symbol too. Yeah, like you're showing now.
Since you said it looks like an eyeball, circumpoint, solar system, so it's the sun, so the Ra, all that shit. If you go down here, Keter, Kabbalah is also represented by according to Wikipedia. I don't know how much you trust that because it even says not to trust them right in their terms, right? As a symbol of an entered apprentice Freemason. Also, city center. So a second point is all of these things, right? Now, let's go ahead here. And let's turn it to a side. Is this possibly what's being resembled if we turn it 90 degrees, right?
Oh.
Is it possible? That's what they're representing.
Well, there's also a thing, it could be eyes, but when it comes to eyes too, then you also have to start wondering, is it the eye of Horus or the eye of Ra? Because one's in two different directions.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and ask, what was the name of that courtyard in the Vatican? Pinecone Courtyard?
Yes.
You know, Pinecone, eye of horse or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm starting to see some symbols there, right?
For sure.
Now,
I definitely thought it looked like an eye before in general.
Now let's go ahead and look at, let's call them districts, you know, or boroughs because we're North American. But in Rome, they're called rione or riones. What's the name of the district where you find the Pantheon and the Vatican? Oh, yeah, Pina, Pinecone. Again, too, if you look here, it's guess what district number it is?
13.
If you can't see it. No. IX 9. Now, if you look here too at the top, on the right hand side, you'll kind of see the. I can't do it here. So let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3. So if you go from the top left hand side, you go over 3, and then the immediately below that is the Pantheon. It's kind of hard to see because it's smaller. That's where the Pina district is, or Pigna, or whatever. You know how you say it. District. So again, too, if the circumpoint is also the city center, and then you have the obelisk right there. In the old days, this was probably directly right in the fucking dead center of that city, right? So again, too, they're all doing all that shit there. Is that showing up on your screen?
Yeah, it's there now. Yes, it's just like a little bit of a delay. It seems sometimes, but it'll pop up. Yeah, you sent me this today or yesterday, right?
Yeah. Now, if we look at the first one, the Monty in the top left there, is this just me? I'm seeing beehive symbolism there.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
And then you also have that in Borgo with the Sphinx in it. And then the next one too at Delasquino, which maybe that's the tree of life that's right above the beehives. Maybe I don't know. Then you have the two with the crescent moon of. So you have the two with the crescent moon of what you call it there, right? Too.
Yo, I even think that's the Wheel of Fortune, the Rippa one, D Rippa.
Yeah. And then the one at the far right-hand side of the Di Ripa, whatever, they have the Circus de Nero where they allegedly killed the St. Peter, right? But then St. Peter is supposed to be like the, you know. My personal favorite one is the Estachio. So that's like the one down, one to the right from the top. I don't know why. But isn't that also like Jägermeister symbol?
Which one is that again? Testastio?
Estacio, the one with the deer with the antlers. Or actually, that's a goat with antlers. Fuck me. God damn. That's a goat, isn't it? It looks like to me.
Right? Yeah, no, yeah, that might be
and
a goat.
And a cross. What the fuck?
Yeah, that might be a goat, dude. I think you're right with the goat. Because it even has, like, you know, like whenever they show a goat and they try to make a pentagram.
With the ears, yeah.
The ears always look like that.
Those are not deer ears. No, not at all, right? Because deer ears have, like, they're, like, cropped, right? God damn.
I think they'd be sticking up a little bit more.
And then what's the one that, like, you have the line right below it. And then you have is that supposed to be Cleopatra with the fucking devil horns? What the fuck?
Looks like right.
Yeah.
But that is these are actually pretty interesting, especially like that one where you said you have the 3 and then the tree above it.
Yeah. So again, too, this is something like
a lot of symbols too that like you see now still being used for sure.
Yeah. Now this is something I may look into, but again, too, you know, there's enough people out here watching, listening, whatever.
You know what that Monty one reminds me of when we covered Skinwalker Ranch, and I was
that's
going.
That's the red news symbol.
I was going into Bigelow, and he was associated. He was associated with people from Rice College, and they have their crest or whatever for that college is like 3 owls in that shape, in like different diamonds.
To me, it kind of looked like the Deseret News logo, right?
That's Mormon too.
Yeah. And what's on the top right corner? Who do we see represented?
The top right is a bridge.
But what's under the bridge? Arches.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who's represented? Janice.
Janice.
Oh yeah. God damn it.
I wonder if like
What's
that
going on with
pillar
my-
is supposed to be like a phallic thing too, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, like or next to the arches, whatever that is.
Yeah.
A little tower.
Yeah. Who knows, right? So let's go ahead here.
Yeah, it does look like the medical symbol on the bottom left too. That's really good.
Yeah. Which I'll get into. I had earlier, since I'm actually not on my slideshow right now, because that's when I started cursing out everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing good so far.
But let's go ahead. I'm opening. Well, yeah, I know I'm doing good because I'm great. I'm great. I'm God, right? You know me. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's 6.5 minutes. I haven't had to write anything down.
But again,
here we go back.
This is all over. This here. So you have the crescent snakes, right, and the pinecone. This is actually all over the Vatican, right? Allegedly. So I found that this is allegedly all over the Vatican, and pinecone's all over the Vatican because they're also in the pinecone district, pinecone courtyard. So there's a lot there. Lots going on there, right? Mm-hmm. Again, too, we could tie that all to Janice here, too, because the pineal gland. Now, who's the one who actually has the keys to allow you to cross or to actually speak to the gods? That's Janice.
Yes.
You know. So, let's see here. So let's go ahead here. So the points of interest here within that. Now, one other one, I was going to get into it, but with all the issues, I'm going to come back to this because we're actually going to be probably at least 2 more episodes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The one that I have highlighted here, because the Pantheon's the first under churches, but then there's Sant Ignacio di Loyola and Campo Marzio in Villa del Caravita. Now, do you know who Ignacio di Loyola is?
No, I don't know who any of these people are.
Ignacio of Loyola is the original Jesuit. So the church that tributes to the Jesuit founder is also in this district. And let's go ahead here. So primacy Peter, why is it coming up with this? So primacy Peter also comes up under the primacy of the Pope or papal primacy. Now, you know, so like this is right after the papal encyclicals online. You can pull them all up and you can see every single one of these. They're all contradictory and they make zero sense, you know. But oh goddamn, I pulled the wrong picture for the next one. So basically, it says chapter 1 on the institution of the apostolic primacy in Blessed Peter. Basically, they're trying to say that Jesus gave the keys to Peter. Peter was the first bishop of Rome. Now, there's also, you know, within the Protestant versus Catholic, there's, we know for a fact that Peter was in Antioch, which is in Turkey, modern Turkey. Now, there's also dispute whether he ever made it to Rome, which is also kind of funny or interesting. But then you also have the next one on the permanence of the primacy of Blessed Peter and Roman pontiffs. Again, too, Pontifex Maximus, again, too, which we covered last week, and is also the name of the papal office. Now, when I was researching and gathering more additional information, I only ever found that the Roman emperor was also called Pontifex Maximus by finding coins. So that's another awesome tool that I've actually just discovered. Basically, with coins, you know, they're engraved. So when people are selling and buying them, they can't change what the meanings are, what's actually on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you already made it. It's like once you printed out a book, I mean, you can't go into everybody's house and change the printing. Or like the newspaper. Like I've said that before, yeah. You're kind of stuck with whatever it was when you first...
But engraved is even better, right? Because you can always burn all the books, right?
That's true. You'd have to melt the other shit.
Yeah.
Take a little bit more time.
No, it also says, so chapter 4 there, the infallible teaching authority of the Roman pontiffs. Okay, cool. So, like, again, too, is he infallible before he becomes that, or is he only when he becomes it? You know what I mean? At least, like, with Buddha, like, allegedly he's, like, reincarnated as an infallible, right? So, fuck off, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. The crossing of the keys again.
Yep. Now, I also see, again, too, I see the symbolism in this here. Gold, which is sun. Janus represents the sun. Silver, which is the moon, right? Janus represents the moon. So then you have the two faces, and they're facing opposite directions. So that's kind of hidden in there.
Yeah, you got gold for the sun. I like how the top thing is like the
pine cone?
I was gonna say pine cone, beehive. I even like how there's like the red and the green on there. I find that interesting.
Now, how about now I grabbed the wrong picture because it's got the red seal, but a lot of these also too, the red ribbon of Mithra, right, and the keys, tying them together. So I grabbed the wrong picture.
Yeah.
But a lot of them actually have that ribbon is the red.
Gotcha.
So then you have the red ribbon of Mithra, right? And then you're tying them together.
I wonder if that would even tie in with like those red bracelets people wear.
Yeah.
And I even what I find interesting too about the pine cone, the beehive, whatever you want to, the hat, whatever you want to call this thing. You know how it has those 3 layers.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this before, multiple times. And I've always thought that about the 3, and I've mentioned it before. In the Gnostic Mass, there's a point where the priest makes a slice and cut on his body, and I'm almost positive it's 3 fucking times. And I do think that is like showing like disconnection, in a sense.
You're going to love my next slide. I already showed it to you, but I don't know if you picked it up on it. So let's go ahead here. Do you see what I see? If you just manipulate a little bit.
Yeah.
Possible?
Could be, yeah.
So then you have the 3, the compass, the square, the G in the center. Boaz and Jackim actually crossing.
Wow, that's interesting.
Now, a lot of people are going to be like, now this is where like I've lost everything past here, and we're going to go into this next week, right? But we're probably looking at like another 4, 5, 6 episodes. I don't know if you have any questions or anyone listening has any.
I know. I think next week I have open, and then the Friday after that I have somebody else already coming on, so we can continue next week.
Okay,
sure.
yeah. Well, we have other days too, right?
So, yeah. I mean, that's for a live. I could always pre-record it, or I could still go live and then just drop it Friday. Anyways, doesn't matter. So, yeah. That's fine with me. So then you want to end it there? Then is that all you got then for this week?
I don't know. Do you have anything? That's all I have right now. That's all satisfied.
Yeah, no, that's fine then. Yeah,
but again,
you can cut it there. You can cut it there.
I want to let's go ahead and wrap it up. So again, too, what we're showing here is that Constantine was the one who actually kind of went in. He created he allegedly converted to Christianity, but then Constantine also he built St. Peter's. He built he switched the Pantheon over to St. Catholic or Church or whatnot. You see all the symbolism of the pine cone, which again, too, pine cone is a cult to pagan way before Christianity, right? You know what I mean? Don't necessarily see that in any of the Christianity stuff or Catholic. The Pantheon itself is. There's so much there again too with the Pantheon. You have the Keter symbolism of the Pantheon. You have the Janus has the keys of heaven. He's the one who allows to cross over into the heaven. So again, too, if you have the Keter symbolism, you also have the light at the top. So crossing over. There's so much in that one alone, right, where you're tying it back. Again, too, with the papal keys, I see Janus symbolism there with the pine cone above. and then the Janus face below where he's facing, the gold, and so it's the sun and the moon facing in opposite directions. Again, both those tie back to Janus. Again, too, I said I brought the wrong picture. A number of those pictures of the keys, you're going to see the red ribbon tying the keys together, which is the cult of Mithra, which is also tied back to Janus. We're going to go into that. So let's just say everything ties back to Janus. and Rome, again, to Western civilization. If you live in Western civilization, it's all Rome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything, if you go back, everything is Rome, like throughout, Yeah, I mean, unless you're Jewish, and then maybe you're still using like their 6,000-year-old calendar, right? But other than that,
I definitely think, like you were saying, with all that symbolism, and then like we were even saying before when we were watching that other shit, we were like, oh, come on. Like, but like, I really do actually think like a lot of the stuff that like you were showing, like, I do think the pine cone, the obelisk, doorways, arches, I do think the keys crossing. I mean, come on, keys. I do think like all those things it's all just other artistic ways to show the idea of Janus, because even the drawing of Janus and who he is just an artistic way to show something. You know what I'm saying? It's just other ways. It's just not in human form. Yeah,
we can wrap it up there. Trust me. Yeah. I got so much more coming.
Thank you, Jonah. Unfortunately, I guess Lee was never coming back. Thank you for jumping on. Lee, check him out. His show is Subconscious Realms. Yeah, you can look for his show. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who he is.
I think him and I might be doing something tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Actually, we record tonight, and then we release it whenever he releases it. But if anyone wants to check out his show, what I do with him is completely different than here.
Yeah, you don't have the slides and stuff either.
I just free flow like a motherfucker. Again, dude, this is all just free flow stuff, right? So, it's completely different. But maybe because I don't do anything Hollywood at all. Like when you asked me last week, I'm like, fuck Hollywood, fuck them today. Fuck $1 million movies. Yeah. Literally, I don't do anything Hollywood at all. I listen to podcasts, I listen to books, and I read. I do not watch TV. I don't do any of that shit. So,
That's probably better off to stay off the TV as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah. So what I usually do with him is just free flow, right?
Yeah.
So I think right now the next one, because the next one we're probably going to go into things like Project Sunshine.
Okay.
Do you know about Project Sunshine?
No, I do not actually.
So Project Sunshine is when they actually had they wanted to figure out about radiation on the body or whatever. So they actually created a international group of body snatchers to go steal like children's bodies from morgues and graveyards, so they could test radiation on it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. You can pull it up right now. Project Sunshine.
Wow, that's wild. So, I guess if people want, go check out, like I was mentioning before, Lee's not here anymore. I'll whatever, Subconscious Realms. You go check that out. Lee's show, and Jonah's been on there.
6 times, I think.
Huh? Yeah, a few times, right?
It was 6, I think.
Wow, damn. That's a lot. All right.
Well, literally, he's just like, man, like when him and I got together one time when he didn't actually show up for you and I, right? You remember? He didn't show up the last time for you and I, right? And him and I got together, and I just started rambling. He's like, we got to do this again. And then, so literally, like I was saying at the start, the way we started talking about Janus, and it was like, Pope Benedict was just a blood sacrifice to Janus at the end of the whatever. And he's like, stop. I'm recording right now. Let's just go. So I just started rambling about the stuff I know, right? And then, that's completely different in here. So when I come here, I cite everything, right?
Yeah.
But when
I love this.
But when I'm with him, I just gonna run off about the stuff I know, and then he'll ask me something, and like that one I was telling you about, I was going through all the banks, and then he could ask me one thing, and I got off on a tangent, and I've showed you before the Creative Artist Agency there or the Creative Intelligence Agency there in California, Hollywood, where the courtyard is the compass and square. They have the 2 buildings, Boaz and Jackin. Then they also have the front building, which is like the same dimensions as the monolith from 2001. The address is 2000 Avenue of the Stars. So Creative Artist Agency too. Then you have the Screen Actors Guild, which is the Two Faces Janice.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah.
So this is the type of stuff I do with Lee, which is a little bit different, but
All right. Yeah,
awesome.
so if people want to, go check him out. He's been on there, he said 6 times. I'm sure it won't be hard then to find Jonah listed on one of his episodes. I'll include, I'll include Lee's links anyway. So I guess his links will be in the bottom if you want to go check out his shows that he did with Jonah. Jonah, thank you very much for coming on. And like I said, next week I'll probably go live around the same time if you can. We'll continue, and then
as long as I'm not being hacked.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully your slides work. But thank you very much for coming on again. I do want to remind everybody who's listening. Have you heard of Ray Mabus?
No.
Whoever worked around him? Okay, he said no. All right, tonight.
It kind of reminds me of Anubis,
yeah.
But that's...
Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will be showing Season 3 of Twin Peaks Watch Party. If you want to check that out, hit the Element link down in the bottom in the link tree that I have for my stuff. If you join the Element server, you'll be able to jump in on the Twin Peaks Watch Party. So definitely check that out. And again, Season 3, we're starting it today. We might be doing 2 episodes a week, I think, for the next 9 weeks, if that works out okay. So, yeah, Season 3, Episode 1 and 2 tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern. Be there if you want to check it out. Last week, we actually had a bunch of people there. It'd be cool if we could do that again. A lot of people, chatting it up, throwing in what they think they see. I actually had a really good fucking time. So check it out. And again, thank you, Jonah, for jumping on. And that is the end of another NY Patriot show. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.